Have you ever noticed how different everyone around you is? We're all our own people, our own views, opinions and personalities. We decided that in order to get a better understanding of this, we would interview people from multiple generations to see how each person's upbringing affected them psychologically. Before beginning our interviews, we did some of our own research. Through this, we discovered the attachment theory, which explains how your bond with your parents can affect you later in life. You learn a lot of things from your parents, like the way you communicate, what love looks like, and different behaviours. For example, if your parents are supportive, you're more likely to trust others and handle emotions well. However, if your parents were distant, you may struggle trusting people, letting people get close to you, and in some cases you may develop anxiety. These different parental situations affect each generation differently. Patterns are passed down by the upbringings of different generations. These patterns are called intergenerational influences. The way one generation was raised can shape the next, creating repeating cycles of behaviour and beliefs. These behaviours are learned and copied over time. However, families can gradually develop healthier ways of communicating, relating and supporting each other.
Gabriel Levy, and I'm 17. Well, my mum and dad got divorced when I was about 7 months old, I believe. And it was quite unique because I feel like my mum did take on the responsibility of being like my primary carer. Because after the divorce, my mum took on that role, and I only saw my dad once every 2 weeks-ish. And my mum took on 3 jobs, and I feel like that's just unique because I feel like not quite a lot of families do have divorced parents, but I feel like they kind of have more co-parented responsibilities. But I feel like my family, it was a unique upbringing because just a lot of things happened after that, and it was just quite unique to us. And I think around where we live, it was something different to the norm. It probably impacted me quite a bit as a child, not such as I was younger because I didn't really understand, but as I started to get older I used to question how my family was different, why was it different, and like just why it was so different to the normal of my friends. And it like affected me quite a bit as I got older because I just felt a bit like left out sometimes, and I feel like just seeing everyone around me with their families all together, I did feel quite like upset that I didn't have that, and it just made me question a lot of what I was feeling, like how I felt about these different things, and it just made me quite emotional sometimes. I do feel like these events have affected my view on different things in life, about like how my marriage would go in the future if I was to get married, and like how if I did get a divorce it would affect my family and like me and the people around me, and like how I would continue if I did have kids, like how would I continue and like deal with that and help them deal with that, and obviously changed my perspectives on a lot of things. Like it just makes us think, like I do often think like what would happen in the future, like how are these people around me gonna feel, how is it gonna affect my life, my job and things like that. And it does get emotional sometimes, but I feel like it just to have this thing in like in your childhood, like divorced parents, you need to think about these things if you get upset about them, because like it does just change your view on how things are going to go in the future. If I could change one thing about my childhood, it would probably having a more closer relationship with my dad when I was younger, because I only got to see him once a week or once every 2 weeks because he used to work away quite a lot. But I would change getting to see my dad a bit more, just so I could be a bit closer with him, because I feel like now I'm older I could be closer with him if I did see him more often, because seeing him once a week I just feel like I didn't, or once every 2 weeks I didn't get to have that close relationship. I didn't get to talk to him about my day at college, well at school, my day, like just my day-to-day life. I didn't get to have that close connection with him that I did with my mum, and I would just change that because I feel like it might change some things that I feel now.
My name's Tracy and I'm 50. I just had my 50th birthday last week. Well, I was part of a single parent family for most of my life. My mum brought up on her own. She's had various partners. The partner she's with now, he's still with her, but John just come in my life when I was 18, and my dad, never seen him since I was about 12. As a child, I think not much, but as an adult, yes. It's not till you see dads with their daughters or other kids and you speak to people and their dad is just their life, and I never had that. My mum was always busy looking after us. I think once you have a child yourself, you think about things differently, and then I realised what I missed out on. Seeing me daughter with her dad, realises, my husband, realised, let us think what I didn't have and what I could have had. And my dad was adopted himself, so you would have thought he would have made more of an effort to see his children and keep in touch, but no, he didn't. That me dad had kept in touch, and that he seen my daughter and my brother's daughter, and that I just had a bond with that male figure. I mean, I've got a wonderful stepdad, but he didn't come on the scene till I was 18, and I think you've missed that growing up period, really.
My name is Linda Davison, nee Wilson, and my age is 75 and 10 months. Answer to the first question about my unique upbringing. I suppose what wasn't unique about it was my parents were very elderly for that time. My father was 48 when I was born, and my mother was 42. They thought they'd finished having a family, having had a daughter first, who died as a toddler, unfortunately, and I had an 18-year-old brother and a 16-year-old brother. So my father was very, very clever, brilliant, with a photographic memory and a brilliant mathematician, but had to leave school aged 12 to support his widowed family. My mother had no education, having been orphaned aged 6 and brought up in a Catholic institution where she was not very well taught and not very well fed. So I was brought up in a colliery house with an outside toilet, and my mother, when I was 6 years old, took ill, had to have a kidney removed, and from then on she suffered from very bad health, so I was her carer. Went on to pass my 11 plus and go to the grammar school. By then I was a full-time carer. My father worked permanent nights, and so I came home at lunchtime to make my mum's lunch. I did all the cooking, the cleaning, the washing, as well as try to study. How did this impact you as a child? I think it made me less able to make friends because I couldn't spend the time with them and I couldn't meet up with them. They couldn't come to my house. And it made me have a school life and a home life that I didn't talk about. How did I alter my view on things? I think it probably would be the fact that I was determined to be a good mum when I had children, and not rely on them to do anything for me. I would do everything for them. And as for what I would change, probably it would be either to have younger parents, but probably it would have been to have a mum who was more loving, because she was brought up by Catholic nuns mainly. She hadn't had any affection until she met my father, and she didn't have any parental skills to pass on. So although she looked after us as best she could, she was used to looking after herself first, which is what she usually did, maybe to the detriment of loving her children.